back, and we thank you for joining us here on Good Day Gulf Coast. On this Wednesday, September 18th, I'm Sarah Wall.
And I'm Eric Reynolds. Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on Good Day Gulf Coast. Speaking of the beautiful start, let's find out more about today's weather as we check in with Fox 10 News meteorologist Jennifer Lambers. And Jennifer, definitely don't see the rain clouds in mass
yes,
right now.
that is exactly right. That'll be the difference from yesterday. We were more widespread with some of those showers. It was gray. It was gloomy. Today we have sunshine.
Yay!
Exactly, and a much more isolated chance. So I'm excited about this forecast, especially for those improvements once we get closer towards the weekend. But so far, taking a look at conditions across the southeast, seeing some sunshine out there, just some offshore showers over the Gulf waters, but really calm, quiet to begin. You can see some of that green just making an appearance closer towards Baldwin County, the Florida Panhandle. That's just clutter on the radar. All the showers that we're seeing are going to be south, just off of shore of our coastal waters. Now, visibility, it actually went back down in Evergreen and out, where we were seeing some slow improvements, showing that half-mile visibility. Now it's back down to that quarter-mile visibility. So really, just if you're going to be traveling closer towards Atmore, Evergreen, Monroe County, Conecuh County, and Escambia County, Alabama, just make sure that you are driving carefully. Double check your headlights are on. You might have to manually do it. That way you're visible to other drivers. Elsewhere, we're starting to see more of those improvements. Now, rain chances over the next few hours, we're staying 10% closer towards lunchtime. We bump it up to 20% later on this afternoon and this evening. But even then, we still have that 20% chance closer towards our coastal areas heading into today. Higher chances to not see anything. Coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk more about your forecast and what you can expect for the week ahead. All of that is coming up soon. Sarah.
Checking in with Jennifer.
And also, we're taking a look at our Eastern Shore Toyota dog walking forecast of the day. And we have two pups helping us out for this morning. We have Lily and Daisy. Thank you to Tim and Tina Warren for both submitting them. Green dog paws start off for this morning, yellow heading into this afternoon just because of the temperatures, but then we'll start to cool down later this evening, seeing some sunny conditions in many spots across the Gulf Coast. I'll talk more about your forecast, but again, you can always submit your pup's photo using our Fox 10 weather app or at fox10tv.com. We'll be right back after this.
Forest. We'll hear from state forestry experts about the southern pine beetle. But first this morning at 8:25, in fact almost 8:26, let's check in again with Jim.
And keeping a close eye on your forecast, we do have an isolated chance to see some of those showers, maybe a thunderstorm heading into today. But after that, we drop off those rain chances and we're going to be staying sunny and dry heading into the weekend. I'm going to talk more about your forecast and what you can expect in the long range coming up when we come back after this break.
For Lambers, it's September, but it's feeling like summer, temperature-wise.
That's exactly right. And you know what? Eric is just manifesting, letting the good times roll. He's ready for Mardi Gras season to get here, so we're almost there. We just have to wait a few more months. But you know what? I'm rooting for the cooler weather, too, especially even though we have plenty of sunshine for the days ahead of us. We are going to be pretty warm out there, not quite feeling like fall just yet. Now, taking a look at radar across the southeast, what we're seeing is plenty of sunshine, just some offshore showers, really not disrupting much. Still battling some of that fog out there, mainly closer towards Atmore, Evergreen, Conecuh, Monroe, and Escambia counties in Alabama. Just seeing some of that low visibility, especially in case you're traveling over I-65 anytime soon. Elsewhere, looking great as you're stepping outside, really noticing more of that sunshine, so things are looking better. But we do have a very isolated rain chance heading into today. 10% once we get closer towards lunchtime. That bumps up to 20% later on forward this afternoon. Hit or miss, you have a much higher chance of not seeing anything. And even then, the rain coverage is going to be located just closer towards our coastline. So if you live right along around the south side of I-10, you are looking at a higher chance to see that. Even then, that's a 20% chance, and that's pretty generous too for the rain chances that we're looking at for today. Now, coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk more about your forecast, what you can expect heading into the rest of the week and looking ahead to the weekend. I'll have all of those details coming up in just a little bit. Eric.
Coming up this morning, some local teachers receiving a grand celebration for all of their hard work. And it's also thanks to the college football playoffs. But first this morning at 8:41, let's check in again with Jen.
And let's check in on one of your college football forecasts. And this is going to be for the South Alabama Jags. Now, they are on the road heading to Boone, North Carolina to take on Appalachian State Mountaineers. And I mean, take a look at those temperatures in the 60s. There is still a chance for some isolated showers heading into tomorrow evening. We'll also keep a close eye on what's going on in North Carolina in case you're hitting the road to celebrate our Jags. I'll have additional details on our forecast here locally coming up after the break.
Sounds good, right, Jen?
That sounds absolutely amazing. And hey, maybe if you do it early enough, you can still sit outside. Won't feel terrible out there. Still feeling some slight humidity, but temperatures warming up heading later on into the rest of today. Now taking a live view outside down in Orange Beach, what we're starting to see is calm, beautiful water conditions. Plenty of sunshine out there, and the temperature is resting in the upper 70s. Dew points also pretty muggy, but it feels like temperatures only straying away by about a degree so far forth this morning. Now the rip current risks, they are low today, tomorrow, Friday, heading closer towards the weekend. And then also those temperatures that we're battling for today. Again, still feeling pleasant closer towards lunchtime, warming up into the upper 80s, possibly some lower 90s out there by the second half of today. But the feels like temperatures, once you take that humidity into account, feeling much warmer, feeling more like the mid 90s for many spots across the Gulf Coast. So still humid by the second half of today, almost rooting for some of that rain coverage to help cool you down, but really not looking likely. We're going to be staying very isolated, about that 20% chance to see some of those showers closer towards the coastline, getting closer towards lunchtime, and then only continuing heading into this afternoon. So we start to see more of those beginning to appear towards our Mississippi counties and also coastal Mobile County later on for this evening. But again, 20% still pretty generous with that number. Higher chances to not see anything. We are tracking the tropics at this time. We have one spot that we're monitoring in the central Atlantic. Moderate chances to develop over the next 7 days. It's really the remnants of Gordon. And even then, Futurecast models, they have it wanting to develop, but just keeping it in the central Atlantic. That one right there is the one that we're going to have to keep a close eye on, however, heading into next week. So it's still too early to talk about any specifics in development with that system. Chances are low over the next 7 days, but that limitation is because of that 7-day range. Over the next few days, once we get closer towards the weekend, those chances will likely tick up. Just be cautious what you see and especially what you share on social media. Always double check the source, the qualifications, the verification, all of that. We'll keep you updated with everything you need to know. But again, way too early to talk about any specifics with that portion right there beginning to develop. We'll get a better idea heading into the weekend. I'll have additional updates and a final look at your extended forecast coming up in just a little bit. Sarah.